Less than 2 years ago, a professional football player was referred to me and he was looking for an off-plan villa in the real estate market in Dubai. Naturally, he was very skeptical of the risks, so I was able to guide him and eventually we found the perfect fit. The villa that we found him today is worth 45% more in value 2 years later. Now, that villa is not even ready yet. It's ready at the end of this year. And we predict that by the time this villa hands over, it's going to be worth at least 55 to 75% more than the original value. Now, I've spent the last 3 years helping investors just like this from all over the world navigate through Dubai's complex real estate market and help them find the most profitable villas in Dubai. In this video, I'm going to share my proven system and strategy of how I search and find these properties so that you can achieve results just like this, even if you're completely new to Dubai.
So I think what's important to understand when we look at the layout of the entirety of the map is what communities have been successful and what kind of made them successful, okay? Now, as I mentioned before, it's pretty obvious. Within these communities, you're either going to be faced with the main selling point being the location or the golf course or lagoon-style community or parks and greenery, okay? Now, categorically, we've always known the Emirates living community around here to be, the sort of flagship of the villa communities, alongside the fronds on the Palm Jumeirah. But realistically now, villas in this location are 25 years old. You've got areas like the meadows, you've got the springs, you've got the lakes. Now, these are already well-established communities. But if we look at them compared to like an Oasis or an Acres or a Wilds, the community themselves are not even comparable in a sense that what they have to offer. Let's have a look at Meadows. We recently sold a villa over there and we broke the price per square foot record, over 4,000 dirhams, which is insane because we renovated it. But people who are buying into Meadows aren't buying because Meadows is a nice community, in my opinion. I mean, it's a nice community, it's quiet, it's green, but it's not, it looks dated. The villa styles are very old and not very attractive looking from the outside, and you can't really do much about the exterior of a villa. But what I'm saying is, this was the original flagship villa community. So as we move outwards now, okay, we start to see the most sort of recent and upcoming successful villa communities. And the first one I like to point out, because honestly, it's probably my favorite, and it even circled it for me, but I'm going to be a bit more specific now. It's Jumeirah Golf Estates, okay? So this little patch here, Jumeirah Golf Estates, developed by Al Wassel as a developer. Fantastic. As I say, this is a green golf course community. When people go there for the first time, they get the feel of, let's say, Beverly Hills of Dubai. And now we're seeing prices, exceed, that's 4,500 dirhams per square foot, okay? So 4,500 dirhams per square foot they're exceeding. Now, what's interesting is that this big plot of land right behind Jumeirah Golf Estates, as I just mentioned to you, okay, this huge plot of land except Rembrandt, this is Oasis by Emart. Now, if you actually look at the price per square foot we can still get villas from on the lagoon within Oasis, we're looking at 2,000 or even below 2,000 dirhams. Okay, so this is one of the steps that we take. We look at surrounding communities. We look at what's trading. Now, I'm not saying, of course, Jumeirah Golf Estates throughout the entire community is trading at above 3,000, 3,500, even 4,000 dirhams. Absolutely not. These are the top spec redesigned villas. Okay, but the fact that we can then get into a brand new community, categorically, Emart do build the best communities, and we can get in there for 2,000 dirhams per square foot. That screams volumes to me. Now, one thing as well, again, if we're looking on Oasis, for example, we looked at the most recent Palace villas, right? So what's special about this 4-bedroom floor plan is that if we look at Dubai, there's not many 4-bedrooms with this much plot size. What we've got here, we've got 7,000 built up area, okay? And we've got a basement. So it's about finding the unique features within these communities as well. So combined with the fact that, we're in a location that's behind a community that's already extremely successful, we pair that up with the fact that we're buying from one of the biggest developers, or the biggest developer, let's not beat around the bush, the biggest developer in Dubai, government-backed. We're buying into a brand new master community and we can get half the price per square foot there. And right now, we're taking this video as 2025. Oasis is going to start handing over in 2028. Okay, we've seen a massive increase in the demand and surge for villas. So when we see what's happened in the past few years, and we look ahead for the next 4 years, it's safe to say that probably the standard stock in a place like Jumeirah Golf Estates is going to be starting at 2,800, 2,900 before it's even renovated. And that renovated stock is going to exceed maybe 5,500, 6,000 dirhams per square foot. Okay, so, and again, one of the other things we like to look at, like I'm going to use a couple of communities as examples now because, you're probably wondering where I'm talking about. This sort of section here, which has been dead land for a long time. We've got, as you know, launches coming up by Acres, by Miras, and you see this whole entirety here just around Arabian Ranches 3, and also at the back here, we're seeing a lot of movement and a lot of new things coming up here. We've got Acres by Miras, we've got Wilds by Aldar, we got Haven by Aldar, but they're not the ones I wanted to talk about right now. No, because I am very interested in two communities, one being the Valley right here. Now, why I like the Valley so much, again, Imar community. And as I said, for us to find a profitable community, well, we can actually buy here, all right, for like 1,350 per square foot, which is just nuts. Okay, that's an Imar community, an Imar master community. And look at the most recent launch. Again, thinking uniqueness. There was a launch called Rivera, okay? Now, around this entire community, especially here, is around 250,000 square foot of park space, open green space. Now, what's unique about every single villa is that it backs onto a green belt. Okay, so throughout here, it's pretty much just a green belt. So when you're buying into a master community, it's so important not just to buy whatever's available. You have to look at what's unique about this place. What's it offering that other master communities aren't? Because now if we go back to the map, I mean, I live here in Dubai Hills. So again, another, as we talk about, because I like to compare newer communities with successful communities. The Valley is around somewhat similar size to the Dubai Hills master community already. Okay, so basically you've got two parts broken up into the Dubai Hills community. You've got this section over here, which is a combination of townhouses, villas, basically Sidra and Maple. And you've got like a green belt going throughout each one. But then they created the sort of mega mansions around the golf course. But then also they've now got a ton of new apartments that they're building throughout here and here. And of course, the Dubai Mall. Now, the standard price per square foot in Dubai Hills for something on the Maples or the Sidras, you're looking at easily 2,500, 2,000 to 2,500. And that's continuously rising. Now, what's really interesting is that for a 3-bedroom in somewhere like Maple, okay, a terraced house, what we call in the UK, you'd be paying 4.7 million dirhams for that. And the built-up area would be around 2,300, 2,400 square foot with a small plot size. So we know that Imar build master communities that are successful like Dubai Hills. So if we look at the map and we know the Valley is here, okay, so to any of the big sort of financial hubs, we're probably going to talk, let's be realistic, some people will say 15 minutes, but it's probably going to take you 30 to 35 minutes, okay? Because traffic might start clogging up and it might get a bit busy, all right? But if we actually think about where new commercial hubs are being built, well, most people don't know that Motor City is actually right here, and this is another big commercial hub that's kind of expanding and growing in Dubai. And if you know anything about Dubai Hills, which is also here, they've also got, sorry, it's there. They've got a huge commercial space as well. So what's happening is the commercial space is moving out from the original city centre. So therefore, the city is moving inland. So don't you think if you bought a property for 1,350 dirhams per square foot, which yes, seemed far away, but now we're seeing other launches like Shoba Elwood. We've also got Miras and Nakheel are buying some land over here. Elwood, my bad, is actually next to it there. But we know that this space is going to eventually develop. Again, even Damac Hills too at this point seem pretty far away. And if I was working where I'm working in the city of the town right now as a real estate agent, honestly, these areas are not very practical for me. But families that are looking for, newer apartments, newer communities, this is where they're all going to start moving to, all right? Now, of course, this is your sort of 5 to 7 to 8 million dirham mark, all right? And you can still get a prime property for that price point. If we go back and we look at the Amar community, which we're talking over here, you know, we're not going to be paying 5 to 10 million dirhams right here. No, in Oasis right now, we're going to be looking at 10, 15, maybe 17 million dirhams. But for this, you're getting a 7,000 or 8,000 square foot house. So you see, this is how we break down the analysis, all right? We look at the location. We look at the track record of the developer. We break down the price per square foot compared to other communities that have been successful. You know, we figure out what's inside of that location, you know, that's going to make it the biggest selling point on handover. Also, where is your villa positioned? You saw with the Riveras, you know, and well, let's talk about the Rivera first, you know. Just as a simple layman's terms, you've got a green space around there, but even all of the villas situated inside the circle also have a green belt. So they design that so they're not backing onto one another. We've seen certain communities where literally you could probably see your neighbor, like you can see your neighbor doing everything. So again, we're trying to bring in this element of privacy. We're trying to, you know, see what's going on inside of the community and how it all combines together. And then that for us becomes a profitable Dubai off-plan investment.
Now, if you're an investor with at least 5 million dirhams and you're looking to purchase your first off-plan villa in Dubai, but you're worried about where to go, and you may be thinking that you might make a mistake, well, we're here to help. All you need to do is reach out and book a call with us below, where we can help build you a personalized strategy, where we'll help navigate you through this complex market to make sure that you are finding the most profitable off-plan villa in Dubai.